Добрий день, з вами Ольга.
Hello, this is Olga Atamanova. Welcome everyone who joined our media center at Ukrinform. Hello everyone online and offline. It's been a 10th year of the war. This is 686 days since the full-scale invasion, and we're continuing to discuss different relevant topics for our society. Today we have one of them. We will talk about the public discussion on river basin management plans, and just to remind you that this is a Euro-integrational obligation for Ukraine. So this is why this process is very important for us, and this is why we're talking to Mykhailo Yanchuk, head of the State Agency of Water Resources of Ukraine, Maria Shpanchik, head of the Water Resource Department. We have two speakers online, Alexander Zinke, head of the EU Environment Program, Water and Data Management. And we have Philip Segan, Project Manager at International Water Office. Hello, everyone. Mykhailo, the floor is yours. Hello. Hello, dear participants, dear international partners, and Alexander Zinke, Philip Segan. Hello, I'm happy to see you. Today, the State Agency of Water Resources is starting the process of public discussion of river basin management plans. Ukraine is switching to new European water management plans, and these river basin management plans are documents that allow us to improve the state of our water resources, and also it's a requirement as part of European directives. EU leaders has made a decision to open EU membership negotiations, and now Ukraine has another achievement without waiting for the negotiation result. We've completed the implementation process for river basins. We reformed our monitoring system. We've created 4 modern laboratories. We also have draft management plans for all 4 areas. Speaking about RBMPs, we have a full support of our European partners, and in the analytical European Commission report, these efforts were reflected, and the next step is a public discussion of river basin management plans. We are planning to approve these RBMPs 2024, and we'll start implementing that since 2025. These RBMPs include the diagnostic for river basins, measures to ensure a good state for water quality. We have a problem of pollution with dangerous substances and water exhaustion. It is worsened by the climate changes and the full-scale aggression by Russian Federation. We have events, and the investments are required for 8.2 billion euros. The RBMPs include a list of priorities, and 92% of events and measures, they mostly are related to purification and improvement of resources, also revitalization and improvement on the hydromorphological state of water resources, adaptation to climate change, decreasing of pollution, revitalization measures. And preparation for these measures was done with the water users, also with the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Infrastructure, and local authorities, territorial communities. Implementation of these events will ensure that environmental goals are reached This will include improvement of a chemical state for many surface waters, and also achieving good chemical state and good environmental state for underwater resources. It corresponds to the water strategy of Ukraine, and it aims to the achievement of the better water state of our resources. The RBMPs is a good tool to attract investments, because this is a priority as part of Ukraine tools like Ukraine Facility and also Ukraine Project Session Assistance and the LIFE program. The management plans are integrated documents for all stakeholders of the river basins, and that's an intersectoral issue. So this is why it's important to consolidate our efforts and ensure that all interests are met. Besides, in 2024, we'll ensure that strategic environmental assessment procedures are run based on the convention and also their approval by different basin councils. The public discussion will go on for a couple of months, and accordingly we will amend our RBMPs, because the point is to ensure balanced documents of governmental planning and sustainable development of water resources. This is why the state agency invites all stakeholders to be engaged and provide your proposals. The draft documents are published on our official website. Also, it will be published on the Ministry of Environment's website. So please be engaged and help us with the finalization of these documents. Alexander, can you hear us? We have a question for you. So I think it's no secret for you that for our society it's critical to comply with all of the requirements to join the EU. This is why our society pays lots of attention to these criteria and their fulfillment. So I know that you helped a lot during that process. What was your assistant about, and how can you assess how well did we do our homework?
Thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Alexander Zinke. I'm from the Environment Agency Austria, and Austria together with France are the two EU member states that are currently working on the program EU for Environment, Water Resources and Environmental Data. This support from the EU is a regional support for Eastern partner countries, including the Republic of Moldova and the Caucasus. And we work on this support, especially in the water sector, already since 2016, together with the OECD and the UNECE, so two international organizations that are also strongly engaged. The work what we are doing refers to very specific technical support, such as the acquisition of equipment for the water monitoring laboratory in Vyshgorod, lots of trainings, lots of guidance documents that we have provided. And we're also working on other related EU directives, such as the nutrient directive, where nutrient vulnerable zones have to be identified and reported in the river basin management plan that are today on the agenda of this press conference. We work also on other legal aspects, such as the packaging waste regulation, and on economic aspects, how to finance the water management in Ukraine and how to finance the measures that are identified. Overall, we are really impressed about the progress that is achieved in Ukraine at these horrible conditions of the Russian aggression of war, and the limited possibilities for experts to collect information, to receive data that are needed as a basis for preparing these river basin management plans across the entire country. Taking that into account, it is really impressive how much important information is collected in these new plans that are now open for consultation. And we want to thank a lot to the State Water Agency and the team of experts that has been working very heavily over the last year to prepare those plans that are now ready for consultation and should be then finalized in the summer and then become adopted by your government. These plans are the basic instruments for water management in the future, and they are also the basis for the negotiations with the European Commission that will start in the near future. So the plans are aiming at becoming compliant with the acquis of the European Union, and as I said, we are really impressed about the progress and the result that is now available for the public consultation. And this public consultation is very important for the implementation of EU law, because the EU wants that such products are consulted with the wider public, and therefore this consultation process, which is starting now, is also an important instrument for the public, the people in Ukraine. Thank you.
Дякую, пане Олександре.
Thank you, Alexander. Philip, the question is for you. How do you assess our capacity and our homework, and what aspects we really need to focus on?
Sorry, I did not understand the start of the question. Could you repeat, please?
Пане Філіпе,
Philip, can you hear us? Can you hear the interpretation?
зараз я попрошу нашу
I will ask our technical team to check the connection. So please check the connection, because we really want to hear from Philip. Hopefully we can hear some information from him. Dear colleagues, if you have questions, please let me know while we are waiting for the connection to stabilize. We have some questions. We'll get back right after we answer the question. We will get back to our speakers. Sergey Kutnikov, the editor of the...
So maybe first Philip gives his statement.
Dear Philip, do you hear us? No?
Пане Філіпе, ви нас чуєте?
Philip, can you hear us? Can you confirm that the connection is stable, and can you hear the interpretation? Unfortunately, I don't think they can hear us now, so we're working on that. Now we will switch to the questions. I'm head of the Environmental Project Department. Well, first, I would like to express my gratitude for the initiatives that I observed while the River Day was celebrated, and I was part of the public discussions in different areas, because revitalization of water objects is quite important. As a person from Mariupol, we organized the discussion of the revitalization of water resources for Mariupol and Donbass. And all of these problems and perspectives were discussed. And also, we have some questions and some proposals. I already mentioned to your colleague that there is an International Black Sea Day, but there is no International Azov Sea Day. And also, lots of rivers don't have their official days. But that's quite important that we run these measures to purify surface waters, and all that is recommended in terms of revitalization. So my offer is we can find official river days for Kalmius and other rivers to make sure that at least twice a year we can run specific measures. Because as a professional, you understand how important that is. And the second thing, do you have any vision? Maybe some structural programs after the occupation of Donbass and Azov region and Crimea. What do we do with these huge environmental problems? What do we do with the mines of Donbass? And also Mariupol people, they wanted to stop Azov-style operations. And, well, I'm sorry, but this is the very sad way in how this whole story ended. But now it's over and we have to think about follow-up. Well, we'll think about your proposal on these river days and Azov Sea Day, thinking about deoccupation. Well, we can, draft these plans, but these will not be specific. Only after deoccupation we will be able to assess the current state of things. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that right now. So after the deoccupation, we can get back to that after we gain access to these objects and water resources. Okay, let's try to reach Philip. Philip, can you hear us now? Do you have a stable connection? Okay. The question is to you. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about our progress in the public discussion process for river basin management plans, and what aspects do you think we need to focus on? Hello, I'm happy to talk to you today.
Well, we started working on the Dnipro River Basin in 2018. I would like to remind that the Dnipro River Basin covers 50% of the area of Ukraine, and this is the largest national river basin in Europe. Since 2018, we have been working with about 30 Ukrainian experts for almost 6 years. It was a privilege to support them and to work with them to present the process and the methodologies in line with the European standards. What are those European standards? Those European standards are defined by a very important document, which is the European Water Framework Directive. This document has been adopted by the European Parliament and the European Council in 2000. And now I can say that Ukraine is ready to prepare the next planning cycles. We worked with those experts. We organized also in 2020 the first consultation about the first part of the River Basin Management Plan of the Dnipro. It was a first step for the public consultation. During this consultation, focused on the basin councils of the Dnipro River Basin, we could collect recommendations, suggestions to improve the first chapters of the Dnipro River Basin Management Plan. And this first step was very relevant, and it prepared the second step of consultation now about the river basin management plans, the 9 river basin management plans of Ukraine. The Dnipro River Basin Management Plan is a huge document, 1,400 pages. So it is a very big document because, as I said, Dnipro is a very big river basin. So during the consultation, it will be difficult for some people to appropriate this document because it is a big document, as I said. But the document for the Dnipro is divided in 4 chapters, one for each sub-basin. So the public could focus on their sub-basin. And during the consultation for the Dnipro River Basin Management Plan and for the other river basin management plans of Ukraine, there will be a work to prepare some document, infographics, summaries to help the people to understand what are those documents, what they can find in the documents, and what comments they could produce to improve those documents. So this participative process, I mean the consultations, this participative process is required by the Water Framework Directive, so it is mandatory, and it is a way to associate, to involve the stakeholders and the public in water management, because we are all concerned by water. And the measures proposed by this first generation of river basin management plan, the measures will contribute to rebuild water infrastructure, will contribute to the protection and the restoration of water resources in balance with economic development. And this first generation is usually, in all the countries in the world, is usually focused on sanitation. So it will contribute to improve the well-being and health of the public. So those are some arguments to involve stakeholders and public inside the consultation and then inside the implementation of the river basin management plans.
Дякую вам.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to our international partners for the systematic support and assistance in the implementation of these tasks that we have. Thank you very much, friends. And thanks a lot for your interest. If you have anything to add, please, Mykhailo. I have nothing to add, really. I just wanted to say, addressing our international partners.
Дякуємо вам.
Thank you very much, and we're continuing to work for our victory. Thank you. Thanks to our defense forces, and glory to Ukraine.